Christmas is supposed to be a time of love and joy, a time when families come together. But for Kevin Wentz, this Christmas turned into his worst nightmare. Kevin was excited. After years of fighting in court, a judge had finally given him time with his 3 kids for Christmas. He decorated his home, wrapped their presents, and waited for them to arrive. But December 16th came, and his children never showed up. He called, he texted, nothing. Their mother, Kimberlee Singler, was supposed to bring them. But she was gone. And so were the kids. 3 days later, a 911 call came from Kimberlee's home. Police rushed in, and what they found inside was heartbreaking. 2 of the children were dead. Welcome to True Crime Stories videos. I welcome you, my viewers, and most especially my subscribers, for your support as we keep improving and bringing you daily told and untold true crime stories. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Kimberlee Singler and Kevin Wentz were once a family. They had 3 beautiful children. But sometimes love fades, and in its place, anger takes over. When their marriage ended, the battle over their kids began. For years, Kimberlee and Kevin fought in court. Who would get custody? Who was the better parent? The fighting never seemed to stop. Then one day, Kimberlee made a terrifying claim. She told the court that Kevin had pulled a knife on her. For a moment, everything changed. The judge took away Kevin's visitation rights. He couldn't see his children. He couldn't hug them. He couldn't even call them. But was it true? Investigators dug deep. They looked at the evidence, the stories, the facts, and in the end, the truth came out. There was no proof that Kevin had ever threatened Kimberlee. The court ruled he was not a danger to his kids. And so, a final decision was made. Kevin would get to spend Christmas with his children. Kevin was overjoyed. He had been waiting for this moment for years. But Kimberlee wasn't happy at all. Something changed in Kimberlee that day. She didn't fight back in court. She didn't argue. She just walked away. No one knew it then, but this battle wasn't over. The worst was yet to come. December 16th, 2023. It was supposed to be a special day. The day Kevin Wentz would finally see his children again. He arrived early, excited, nervous. He had waited for this moment for years. But as the minutes passed, something felt wrong. No one came. Kevin called, he texted, he waited, but Kimberlee never showed up, and neither did the kids. His heart pounded, his hands shook. This wasn't just a delay, this was something else, something worse. The very next day, Kevin took action. He begged the court to enforce the custody order. He needed answers. He needed his kids. But the law moves at its own pace. The court scheduled a hearing for December 20th. 4 more days. 4 days of not knowing. 4 days of panic, fear, and sleepless nights. What Kevin didn't know was that Kimberlee had already made her move. And then, just days later, a call came in. A 911 call that would change everything. 911, what's your emergency? Someone broke in. Please, my kids. It was still dark outside. December 19th, 2023, just before dawn. Officers rushed to Kimberlee Singler's condo, expecting to find a burglary in progress. But what they found inside was something no officer should ever have to see. 2 children, lifeless, their small bodies still tucked in bed, as if they were only sleeping. But they weren't sleeping. They were gone. Kimberlee herself was injured. So was her teenage daughter. But something wasn't adding up. The condo was locked. No broken windows, no footprints in the snow. Whoever did this never forced their way in. If this was a burglary, then why wasn't anything stolen? And why were only the children harmed? The burglary story wasn't making sense. And then, Kimberlee did something that changed everything. It wasn't a burglary. And just like that, the truth started to unravel. A mother on the run, 2 children gone, a nation demanding answers. While detectives worked to understand what happened inside that Colorado home, Kimberlee Singler was nowhere to be found. One moment, she was in the hospital. The next, she was gone. She vanished, just disappeared. But she didn't just leave town. She left the country. Kimberlee had crossed the ocean. Maybe she thought she could start over. Maybe she thought no one would find her. But she was wrong. It took just a few days. Authorities tracked her down and arrested her. Back in Colorado, prosecutors wasted no time. First-degree murder, attempted murder, child abuse. The charges were heavy.
Why?
But one question remained.
Why would a mother do this to her own children?
The truth was about to come out. Everyone thought this case was simple. A mother, a crime, an arrest. But then, the courtroom dropped a bombshell. Buried in legal records was a shocking detail. A judge had ordered something unusual. Both Kimberlee and Kevin were told to take a polygraph test about the knife incident. A test that could have changed everything. I just wanted to prove I was telling the truth. I wanted my kids to be safe. Kevin agreed to take the test. Kimberlee refused. But then, another twist. The court ruled that polygraphs weren't admissible evidence. It didn't matter. Some say the legal system failed, that more should have been done to assess the risk. If courts had taken a deeper look, would these children still be alive today? Others say this wasn't about the legal system. This wasn't about polygraph tests. Kimberlee's mind was made up long before that courtroom ruling. And now, she would have to answer for it. This was supposed to be a season of love, a time for family. But in Colorado, it became a tragedy that no one can forget. People still ask, could this have been stopped? Did the court's decision push Kimberlee too far? Or was she always capable of doing something so terrible? There were warning signs, but did anyone listen? That's the question. More and more, parents in custody battles are being told to meet at police stations for child handoffs. Not at homes, not at parks, but under armed supervision. Because when emotions run high, children can become the ones caught in the crossfire. I fought for them. I wanted them to be safe. But I never imagined this. He did everything he could. He trusted the system. And yet, he lost them anyway. A tragedy no parent should ever have to endure. This isn't just about one family. It's about a system that's supposed to protect children. But sometimes, it fails. Did the court make the right call? Or was this tragedy something no one could have stopped? Parents fight for their children every day. But when emotions run high, how do we make sure the children are truly safe? What do you think? Let us know in the comments. And if you want more true crime stories like this, ones that make you think, make you feel, be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss a story. Because some stories should never be forgotten.